My name is Ben, and welcome to another show of Amago Dorper Stud.
So, Bernard,
Yes.
I've seen the boys, I've seen the rams, they look so nice.
Yes.
Tell me about the process of disposing the rams. You have brought the ram from South Africa, you have bred it enough. What can you tell a farmer who thinks an ex-ram is better than a younger ram in terms of quality, in terms of everything?
In terms of
At what time would a farmer consider to dispose the ram, not to another farmer, but straight to the butcher, whether quality or anything?
I would go very slowly in terms of disposing a ram to a butcher, because basically you're meaning for slaughter.
Yeah.
The only time I would do that is when the ram is injured to a point where it cannot, let's say it's broken its leg, or dislocated a hip to a point where it cannot be rejoined. Then, sadly, that may need to be taken to the butcher. Okay? The other point is, I will only dispose of a ram, or encourage one to dispose of a ram to the butcher when it's beyond his productive life. That is when a ram is above 8, 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what I've noted, rams, when they get to about 3 to 4 years, they are at their prime. Their performance then, just from within our farm, I've seen is very, very good. So, what I would advise any farmer who has an ex-South Africa ram is, first, of course, observation is very important. You need to look at the lambs that have been born out of that ram. How are they? How are they conforming to the breed? Also conforming to your objectives as a breeder.
Sure.
And once you see that the ram has performed its due course, and now you're also concerned about inbreeding, especially for the farmers who have smaller farms and you cannot be able to move around your animals too much, I would always say keep a ram for 2 years max, because by that time their young have come of age, you know. So at that point is when I would be able to say, hey, dispose or sell off that ram.
Sure. Bernard, are there seasons? As a farmer, are there seasons you need to monitor when to start your rams on duty and when not to start them on duty? And do we have to move with the weather patterns? Or if a farmer is okay, has a feedlot, can feed the animal, can keep breeding anytime, any year?
The way I would approach that is, one, understand what your objectives are as a farmer. If you are doing it for breeding, then, and you're on an open field or free graze system, then it's important to breed as per the weather, because then it will be a bit softer on your pocket. Because when the lambs are born when it has rained, then automatically, or most of the time, it means the mother will have enough milk to suckle the young one. But if feed is not an issue, then it becomes more a question of management. Okay? So how are you able to manage a breeding cycle? I would always advocate to have a season. You know, put in a ram for an average of 34 to 40 days. Because remember, the heat cycle is every 17 days for the ewes. So I would put in a ram for about 40 days. But that, even before putting in the ram, is to ensure that I've flushed my ewes. Flushing means I've prepared my ewes for at least 1 to 2 months for breeding. What is flushing involved? I have dewormed my ewes. I have vaccinated my ewes. I have put them on a nutritional plan that is higher than the normal they were on, to ensure that they're in good breeding optimum condition. After doing that, also at the same time, I'm also taking care of the ram. I have ensured that he has been hoof trimmed, vaccinated, the boy has been on a good high energy, high protein diet prior to the breeding. Then I do the joining, bringing them together. And this would be done for about 40 days, then get the ram out. Yeah? And why do I advise or advocate for a breeding season is because of uniformity. You want your rams or you want your lambs to be born at the same time or within the same period, because also from growth, they will grow together. Also from a management point of view, vaccination, deworming, you'll be able to manage a larger group than managing every other day a lamb being born, throughout the year. So it's good from a management perspective to ensure that you have a lambing season, because you'll see even for medicine or vaccines like for pneumonia, for example, double C, double P, it's sold in doses of 100. So it also informs you the need to have a group, because if you only have 2 lambs, what are you going to do with the other 98 doses?
Will be had.
Yes. So that would be my advice when it comes to lambing or breeding. Yes.
Bernard, you have talked about vaccine, and I need you to take me through the process of vaccination because there are many diseases that come along to the farm, and by chance or by somehow, somewhere, farmers lose their animals after using a lot of antibiotics, and it is not responding. What is this as the lamb is being born as of today? Are there programs for vaccination that are 2 months, or 3 months, or 6 months? Before breeding, you do this. What is the process of vaccination? Or what do farmers have to know that whether this disease is there or not? I have to. Another question about still vaccination. Are there conditions or are there diseases that are locally available at some parts of some areas that a farmer has to concentrate on vaccination?
Good question, Morgan. You see, when it comes to vaccinations and a vaccine program, I always advocate for one approaching it from an individual environmental point of view, because whatever diseases I have here in Machakos or what I face in Machakos is very different from what you're facing in Kajiado.
True.
So what is important is first for you to work very closely with your local vet and understand what diseases do I have in my area. The mistake we make as farmers is that we ask each other, what are you vaccinating for? So if I say blue tongue and I look like a serious guy, you also vaccinate for blue tongue.
Yeah.
That's not the right way to go about it. Is you vaccinate for diseases that are specific to your environment. So I'll give you an example. Here in Machakos, we vaccinate for pneumonia, double C, double P. We also vaccinate for PPR, and the other universal vaccine that you need to vaccinate wherever you're in Kajiado, if you are in Machakos, or even Texas, is a clostridial vaccine. Yeah. So I would always advise have a vaccine program that is tailor-made to your environment. The same applies to your deworming. Yeah. When it comes to deworming, you have to ensure that, and this I will always advise farmers as you're starting out in your new farm, do what we call a fecal analysis. Pick the droppings, fresh droppings of your sheep, and you can, categorize them with a ram, a few younger weaner ewes and a mature ewes, and take them to a lab. For me, I take them to Kabete Vet Lab. And from there, they'll give you an analysis on the fecal samples that you gave, and you'll be able to see what worms you have in your farm. That's very important, because the mistake we all make is also to ask each other, what deworm are you using? You see?
Yeah.
So I say Force 1.
Force 1.
You do Force 1. You see? I say endotape, for example. But what you're facing in your farm is flukes. Endotape will only take care of tapeworms.
Yeah.
Mostly. So you're still suffering with your cura fluke, or your flukes for that matter. And the dewormer you would have used is cura fluke. But because I advised you to go for endotape, you used endotape. But your problem has not been solved. Your sheep are still not in very good shape. So what is important, carry out a fecal analysis, and I only do it twice a year here. And you'll notice that within a period of 2 to 3 years, you'll have found a cycle of what dewormer to use and when. Yeah. The same now applies to your vaccinations. Yeah. So please, farmers out there, and this just comes out from a fellow farmer, carry out fecal analysis for your deworming schedule and for your vaccinations. Please work closely with your local vet and figure out what diseases are prevalent within your area and vaccinate for those.